before we get kind of into what we can do with your kids over the summer, I thought this would be a good segment, and especially Natasha, you can join in with us. There is a lot. I mean, when I say a lot, I mean a lot going on in our world right now. Just from one spectrum to the other. It's just all over the place. So just wanted to, go over some of the things that are happening in our world today, and then specifically how it may affect us as devoted moms. What we can talk to our children about, or how it will impact, our family life. So the first one I've seen a lot, trending a lot, seen it on Facebook a lot, and actually a lot of misinformation going back and forth is about Nelson Mandela. And he is, at this moment, definitely still alive. Mm-hmm. And last I checked, he's actually doing better than he was doing last night, right, which is just amazing, just completely amazing to me. And so on one hand, he's 94 years old. He has done some incredible things in his life. He has really lived his life to the fullest, and is a blessing that he was even here and that our lives were touched by him. And so when he does make his transition, there will be tears, but it'll also be a very happy day. But just to watch this transformation of him kind of on the brink and then coming back and really fighting this, as he's fought his entire life. So I did want to share with all the devoted moms out there. You're seeing Facebook pages say, and people RIPing Nelson Mandela. He is in fact still alive. Sorry for that background noise.
It's a lovely background noise.
Sounds like a melody, actually.
One I've heard before.
Right. Well, and if we can just spend a little bit of time talking about transition from life to afterlife. And depending on, I think, where your faith system is, when you start to talk about palliative care and hospice, it's very typical for an individual to actually get better before they pass. That's a part of I think to me, it's God's grace, allowing for the family to be able to see and engage and really take advantage of that little bit of time that's left. My grandmother got much better, and then by the time we, of course, left the hospital and got home and took our shoes off, the phone rang, and she had transitioned. And so it's kind of typical when someone is in that time, and we hope that they make this miraculous, rejuvenation back to life. But in all honesty, I actually responded to a Facebook post that Tasha put on, and I said, I'm excited for him to go and get that reward, because he has fought the good fight. He has been a faithful servant, and I don't want to think of him being here just to make us feel better. And I can imagine, my dad, the day that my dad does that, having that mature outlook, but I do know that he's left us with such a legacy, and it's going to be our responsibility to keep to take it to the next level.
Right.
And it's a natural part of life, that there is death. But I send out my prayers and encouragement and just positive energy to his immediate family, but also to his country family.
Yeah.
Just because people are going to have to now step up, and that's kind of hard. And I'm prayerful that he has prepared people to be in the leadership role that he's going to leave a huge gap and a huge footprint for them to fill.
That's true.
Natasha, do you have any memories of when you first heard the name Nelson Mandela?
When I heard his name, I really didn't understand. When he was released from prison, I don't know. I must have been like in high school. I don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah.
But it didn't come across really of who he was, so I had to kind of look at the news, do my research and different things to find out, how important he, really, is to the people of Africa, South Africa. So, getting back to what you said about, him getting well and things like that, people not wanting to let go, but it may be a time where they just have to realize that they have to let it take its course or whatnot, and he'll go when he's ready. And like Regina said, he's fought a hard fight, and maybe it's time for him, that old Southern in me, that's how we say it. And go on. So that's basically my take on.
Yeah, it's funny because I still don't use shell gas. So devoted moms, for those who might be a little bit younger, when Nelson Mandela was being held and there was apartheid going on in South Africa, meaning that there was a huge discrimination between blacks and whites, one of the things was that we were asking companies to divest. And there were lists of companies who were operating in South Africa, and there was this big, huge economic movement to say, if you're operating in South Africa, then you are in fact supporting apartheid, which is the oppression of a group of people based on their race and also on their economic status, and it was just very oppressive. It was like supporting slavery.
Right.
And so there were these lists, and so it was every company, every American company, and even not American companies, there was this list, and you could look at this list and say, well, I'm not buying your product. And I can remember one of the last companies to divest was Shell, the gas station. And I remember needing gas and talking to a friend and saying, well, I need to get some gas, but the only station that's open is a Shell station, and I just cannot go to the Shell station. And I remember him saying, Nelson Mandela is not going to come push your car when you're I'm hanging around with that guy for sure.
Right.
But later, for him to come, for the evolution to him then becoming president of South Africa, I still can't. So perhaps I need to practice some forgiveness, and next time I need gas, I might go to Shell. I'll think about that.
Yeah, I think about that.
Tasha, you being a little bit younger, well, a whole lot younger, I'm sorry. What were things that you found fascinating, or when you were introduced to who Nelson Mandela was, and this big figure that was still among us?
Oh, I can always remember, and in fact, it's something that I think as a summer project I'm going to talk to and teach my kids about. But it's his calm, peaceful demeanor. Because no one or everyone would understand if he had a chip on his shoulder, if he was mad, always angry, and everybody would understand that. I mean, after all that he's been through, because we could go through something not even close to what he went through and carry it for years. And he went through just this massive life transformation pushed upon him, undeserving. And he came out just this peaceful, gentle, meek, not weak, but meek man, very powerful, but meek. And that, I think, spoke volumes to me, because I, would have assumed that he would have, been released from prison and just taken names, and just wrecking shop, And in a way he kind of did, but he didn't do it in the way that I would have envisioned, with my, especially when I was growing up, I had a very quick temper, I snapped all the time, and just out of maturity I've learned how to calm that in me and respond to things differently. And so I definitely learned a lot about how to forgive and how to really get what you need and want, without having to use, anger and bitterness to achieve it. So that's my biggest lesson from him.
Yeah, you could definitely, if you're carrying around some anger, he's definitely a demonstration of how, what forgiveness looks like.
Right.
And I was trying to look up the name of the movie that was that was not long ago came out about the South African soccer team.
Oh yeah, Invictus.
Invictus. And so for folks who may not be familiar with, who President Mandela was and who he was to the world, not even just to South Africa, that was a really good movie that to me gave us additional information and insight to, just how did he bring that nation together. And so I know that's a movie that I'm going to watch probably with my 9-year-old. I don't know about with my 7-year-old. I'll have to think about that.
There's a couple of hard scenes to watch in that one.
There are, but I do think that it's important that we do use this as an opportunity to raise their awareness of it has not been easy, and it's still not easy for lots of people around the world.
Right.
So what else is trending? I mean, I think that's to me, like, that's the major, but there's some other things that are going on also.
Yeah, I mean, well, we have the Trayvon Martin case. That's in its 5th day. And yesterday, what was really trending, and actually still today, is the cross-examination of Trayvon Martin's girlfriend. It hasn't really been determined what their relationship was. And, it's been interesting because I've been watching kind of a little bit of the trial and then watching, some of the news outlets and their take on her testimony. Right. And I really think that at the end of the day, she's a very credible witness, only because you can tell she's not coached. She's not, you can tell that what's coming out of her is very real. Of course, her experience with being in front of national audience and even in front of lawyers is probably null. And so she just has been very real. And so that has thrown a few people off. Yes, most definitely. And she's received some quite negative press from people especially on social media. And right. I actually posted something earlier about, we get kind of up in arms about what Paula Deen said and, how she needs to pay for what she said, which I agree. But then on the flip side, many of our own race have been mutilating this young girl on social media. Wow. And so we expect other people to talk about us in high regard, but we don't talk about each other in high regard. And so I had to kind of check myself a little bit because I even saw a joke about her and I giggled, and then I quickly thought that was just completely and totally inappropriate. I can't imagine talking to your boyfriend pretty much about nothing one day and then the next being in the national media, national spotlight, in an experience that she never thought she was going to be in. And holding her own for the most part, and losing her cool a couple times, but definitely holding her own for the most part.
Well, I haven't seen the her testimony yet. I was going to pull it up on CNN, but I did read Facebook, of course, because you can find out a lot of different things, like you said, on Facebook with the comments and stuff. And I've read a lot of negative things about her, but it was some people who kind of tried to, let them know that she is a teenager. She is young. She's, Haitian. She doesn't really probably know the legal system and stuff. And she's just being, like Tasha said, real. She's being real. And you can tell that she, wasn't being coached. So I said I was going to look at it myself to kind of, form my own opinion, because you have to be really careful about what you read on Facebook.
Yeah, where you get your information and can really be a good thing, a plus and a minus. I think that this is just the beginning of the trial, and I think that trial has such implications for race relations, particularly in America. And I think everybody's just kind of on edge. And so any diversion from what's really happening, I think is easier than, the reality of a young man going to the store to purchase some candy and then chatting with his girlfriend is dead and at the hands of another. And so I definitely sent out, I think about the devoted mom, Trayvon's mother. I think about the young lady's mother who is there supporting and encouraging her to do what is in their value system. And I think as moms, that's what we sometimes have to do, because I think I would have had some challenges on saying, do I want to expose my daughter to the world, and what that means, because the world can be very, very mean and it can be very supportive. So I just hope that she gets the supportive energy versus a lot of the negative. Thinking about phenomenal women, which even though she's a young lady, I think that she is a phenomenal girl. And I'm hoping that this will just launch her into being a phenomenal woman. But we can't help but to give big ups to Tammy Duckworth, an Illinois representative who was really who was really on top of it on yesterday. She spent some time talking about her passion, and I was trying to find how many hours did she spend on that floor talking about as a witness for claiming veterans' disability, and just how broken that system is, but also really having to call people on the carpet on how veterans who have been disabled and even have lost limbs, how they're being denied their ability to get resources to take care of themselves and their families. And so she is also part of the trending. If you want to read more about her, I really do like the Huffington Post. I think they get kind of straight to the point. And I love that they will let you go further, but they stay current and they kind of get to the point. But she is definitely someone that I admire, and took a step forward for those folks who have fought on behalf of our country and our freedom. So what else caught your eye on the trending side?
Well, a little another side. This is something that we haven't really spoken about much. We don't talk a lot about sports or anything on our show. I personally don't know a whole lot, although I have a 7-year-old who can just replay stats like nobody's business. And
we got Natasha on today. Being a media specialist isn't the only thing she brings.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay. So trending, Aaron Hernandez, who just recently received a contract over the next couple years for $40 million, who was a tight end for the Patriots, was arrested on murder charges and is being held with no bail. And what's so interesting to me is that, and we've seen this over and over again, but money, fame, notoriety, it goes out the door when you don't have a grounding. And so it doesn't even matter, because some people, I've heard, how can he do this? He's got a $40 million contract. He threw it all away. But sometimes when you make stupid decisions, those stupid decisions are just based on, our lack of something that we didn't learn from or something that we still need. And so it doesn't matter if we have, a great job or been college educated or have a $40 million contract. So some of the evidence has been very jarring to hear, and of course, I guess he's been alleged to murder him, and we will see as the case progresses, what comes out. But there's definitely already a lot of jarring information that could be very detrimental to Mr. Hernandez.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Some of the conversation has been around the team that he plays for. Natasha, you probably know who that is.
Patriots.
So the Patriots.
The Patriots.
Is that New England?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Right. So yeah, I'm in the kitchen making the dip. You know, drinking.
I'm refilling drinks.
Yeah.
I'm not watching the game.
She's watching the game and she's on Facebook. What is that they just did? And I admire that. It's just not a facet that I've decided to develop. But some of the question is around the economic impact and even some of the unequal treatment, which makes me wonder if the lawyers were tighter with the sign-on bonus, where he got $9 million already, and the Patriots are asking for it back. What? That just floors me, because first of all, for a sports figure to get $9 million just says something about our value system. But Natasha, I'm sure you know he's really a great player. So,
well, that's peanuts compared to some contracts and signing bonuses. $9 million is nothing. You know, really, that's just what they call probably chump change or whatever for some athletes.
Crazy.
I just saw a big soapbox that I would love to get up on, but I'm going to just thank Sylvia Global for allowing us to be able to talk about things that are trending. There's lots of more things that we'll talk about, but we really do appreciate it. Sylvia Global gives us the platform and the opportunity to sit around and have a coffee break and talk about how absurd it is that someone would get paid that much money to toss a pigskin. Okay, I'm sorry, I lost it. I'm sorry, my bad. You know how devoted moms do not. It's not new for you.
Right,
So,
right.